So I'm Lisa Niver, and this is my memoir, Bravish, One Breakup, 6 Continents, and Feeling Fearless After 50. It's the story of the 50 challenges I did before I turned 50 after my divorce to reinvent myself. And I always tell people you don't get a traditionally published book unless you have a really bad end of your marriage. So that's how my book starts, with my divorce when I was living in Crazy Town and I was hoping for an upgrade to Sucksville. I didn't realize that I could wish for a better town, like maybe moving to Bonaire where it's beautiful and there's great diving. So I had been a scuba diver since I first was what, as I sadly called myself, a derailed train. After college, I went to medical school, and that didn't work out so great for me, so I started teaching, and then I learned to scuba dive in 1990, which changed my whole life. I had a terrible near drowning as a child, so it was very hard to teach me to scuba dive. So I'm a great buddy for beginners because I remember when I couldn't figure anything out. On the beach, I remember from my checkout dives in Monterey, the instructor said to me, "Did you check this tank?" And I said, "Yes, I checked this tank." He said, "Well, there's not enough air in it." I said, "Well, the instructions were just to check the tank." I didn't know what to do with that information. He said, "Well, if the tank doesn't have enough air, you get a different one." And I was like, oh. I will never forget that. And so I actually dove with my instructor's brand new gear that he was testing out because he had a full tank of air. And in fact, I was so bad in the pool that my instructor brought a second instructor to Monterey to the ocean because I always bolted to the surface. So there is hope for everyone that wants to train someone to dive who seems like they will never, ever be a good diver. Because I do love diving. I changed my whole life to dive. In the book, I talk about working for Princess Cruises, Royal Caribbean, and Renaissance Cruises so that I could scuba dive around the world and get paid. Yes, they paid me to go scuba diving. I did get in trouble a lot because I didn't care about working and just wanted to go scuba diving. And so a lot of my 50 adventures were going diving in new places like Cuba, the Solomon Islands, Bonaire, Fiji. I had a blast. So if you want to read about how I stopped living in Crazy Town and started having a great life again, get my book.